Thank you, Madam Bonnie, for that very warm introduction. Very special and feels very good. Although we are connecting through through an online platform, it doesn't feel like that, as though you're sitting right next to me and saying all those nice things about me. Thank you so much, and good evening to everyone. Good evening, Vasu sir. Illariga namaskara. Is it raining in that part of Bangalore?
Yeah, heavily.
Yes. Here also it is pouring. So when we have no right to grumble, at least today, about the rain, when the topic itself is about stop grumbling and start living. So this is the topic of the day, stop grumbling and start living. As Vani ma'am said, a unique topic. Yes, today when it's raining outside and with COVID, we have all connected on this online platform. I think that is one reason to stop grumbling, at least, because with this rain and a couple of years back, we started with COVID. With all that, I don't know if we would have ventured out and come for a physical session. So with this scenario, at least, let's give a thumbs up. We have one wonderful reason to be smiling and to be making new friends and connecting through this platform on a wonderful evening of September. Before I begin, Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma. First of all, it is September 5th. So Guruvige Namaskara Martha. Let us thank all our teachers. If we are able to understand, read something, contribute something to the world and the society around, it's because of our teachers. Be it your own parents, your teachers in school, college, and many a times life itself is a teacher. So with due respects to all teachers in all forms, happy Teachers Day to all of you. And happy Teachers Day to all the teachers who have made you who you are. So having said that, let's get started. Grumbling. Do we grumble? Before that, what is grumbling? Different words define grumbling. Many a times you use the word in a synonymous form as complaining or airing out our problems, grievances, venting out. I have something to say and something is not working well for me and I share it and I want to air it out. That is grumbling many a times. And is it normal or is it abnormal to grumble? It's quite normal because we are trying to voice our opinion. Not everything is okay. Sometimes we have some issues, problems about the government. We grumble about the government, the system. So many times we are grumbling about our own self. This is not okay with me. I don't think I look nice in this particular sari, or I don't think I can do well in this interview, or I don't think I can do it. So it could be about our own self. We are complaining. So basically, grumbling is coming out or expressing something in a negative way, expressing our inconvenience, dissatisfaction, unhappiness about something, somebody, situation, policy, our own self, thoughts, food, various. So it's a normal phenomenon. We all do it. If you agree with me, let me see in the chat box. From morning till now, have we grumbled or complained about anything? If you think it's a yes, let me see a yes in the chat box. From morning till now, say about 6:30. Was there a reason for us to grumble? Have we done it? Knowingly, unknowingly? About our own self, about our spouses, children, system, school, weather? Yes. Yeah. Cribbing? Yes, cribbing. Complaining. All these are synonymous words. Although I'll be using the word grumbling, you can replace that with complaining, cribbing, all that. Yes, Maltima. Cribbing. Yes, we have done it. Only so many of us, even from my end, it's an yes. We have grumbled. Yes, about some system. We grumble. Yes. I go to a wedding and I'm supposed to go bless them, wish them and come, but we go and grumble about the food there. We grumble about the arrangements there. Yes, we all do it. All right. Yes. Okay, let's go. So we agree that we are into it. We do grumble. Yes. So is it normal? It is kind of normal. Why? Because that's also a kind of communication. Just like how we speak to each other, we share our feelings. Grumbling or complaining is also another way of expressing our dissatisfaction, our non-agreement about something which is not working as per my expectation. So when there is a gap between what I expect and what is there in return, I show my dissatisfaction in the form of complaining, venting, grumbling, cribbing, many a times. So, and it is quite prevalent in our culture. We do it. And many a times it is also accepted as a very normal phenomenon, and we keep grumbling. How much of it is justified or not is something, let's see, as we discuss further, let's understand. But in a way, grumbling is also a kind of communication. It has its own plus and minus. And basically, the root cause of complaining or grumbling is the bitterness. That's the basic feeling. If you go to the base of from where this grumbling or complaining is emergent, it is basically because I am unhappy about something. There's a little bitterness in me. Something what my friends are enjoying or somebody else has been blessed with, I have not got it. So there's a little bitterness. I'm trying to compare with something. So basically, that is a root cause of grumbling. And why do we complain or why do we grumble? Because as I was telling, there's a little gap. I wanted something I did not get. I expected a better reception or a better welcome when I went to my friend's party or a wedding or a ceremony, and I did not get it. There's a gap between what I was expecting and what. I went to a shop. I wanted to buy something. They said it's a 50% discount. I went there. I got a good bargain, but I was still expecting a better price for it. I start grumbling. I go to a hotel and then I was expecting this kind of a service and I didn't get it. So generally, or most of the times, we go or we get into something with some kind of expectations. So when that expectation, there's a mismatch between what we expect and what we perceive to get. Many a times it's not that. I think the guest there has welcomed you, treated you in a very appropriate way, but we perceive it wrongly. We feel that no, it could have been done better. The food could have been done better. The service could have been better. The teaching could have been better. So the perceived gap is the major reason for the grumbling to arise. Why? What is the other reason? Why do we grumble? What else is the other reason? There's many a times when we complain about something, when we grumble about something, it's a means of expressing our own feelings and we are looking for validation. In the sense, some kind of reaffirmation or acceptance. When I say, I don't look good, I don't think the sari suits me, or I don't think I can go and make a presentation in thing. Let's say I'm a college student and I'm saying that. I don't think I'll be able to do this project tomorrow. I don't think I'll be able to go and stand before my professors and talk tomorrow. And my parents or my friends, no, I'm sure you'll be able to do it. You can do it. You will do it. So I'm also looking for that kind of a push or a validation. Sometimes people around you could be positive and they say, no, you can do it. Sometimes people are ready to pull you down. Yeah, I'm sure you'll make a mess out of it. So people who look for this external validation also get into this kind of complaining, cribbing attitude. Many a times it happens. And many a times when we just gather as a group, your walking mates or friends, it's a general tendency to start cribbing, complaining about many things. Roads sarigilla, governance is not good, this area MLA is not working properly, and then 10 more people join that. Yeah, yeah, I also agree. And then they add on to it. So what do we feel? It's more of our ego reinforcement. I feel, okay, what I said is right. 10 people, 5 more people are endorsing it. So it gives a validation to my point, approval. So it's a kind of a seeking approval and reaffirmation. And when we start grumbling and when people add on to our woes and complaints, it connects people. I've seen a lot of not senior citizens alone, but in general, people, when they get together, start complaining about recently married, their daughter-in-laws or son-in-laws or wives and spouses, each other. I'm not talking about any particular gender or a particular age group, but it's general. Namara league nadita ide. My daughter-in-law is doing X, Y, Z, or my mother-in-law is doing. There's some kind of advice or a ground for us to speak, connecting people, sharing our problems. Many a times, this kind of sharing, the venting of the negatives, it helps us to come out or express our ill feelings. It's a kind of, it acts as a therapy or therapeutic in nature also. When you share, when people endorse it or add on their views to it, you feel, yes, it's not only mine, it's happening elsewhere. So many a times people feel, okay, I'm not the only person. Or there's a little connect between them. So that way, it is satisfying human ego. It's kind of connecting people, bridging that gap, venting out. So in that context, complaining or grumbling may be a little helpful because everything has a plus and minus to it, positive and negative sides to it. So the pros of complaining or grumbling is this. Also, if there is a real reason for us to complain or grumble and you're more proactive, you take action about it, the road isn't okay or the drainage system is not all right in your area, it's been raining and it's flooding, and you want to complain to the right authority, you do it and it is addressed by the local government and your complaint is addressed. Nothing like that. We need to complain at times. We need to seek advice, assistance. But mere grumbling, only complaining, without looking for any kind of solution, with the sole purpose of complaining, being negative, being bitter, is of no good. If you think, yes, let's see, NS, mere complaining without being proactive does more harm than good. If you think, yes, let me see it in the chat box. No, if you feel no, grumbling is always bringing out good in us. You could give me a reply in disagreement also. Let's see it. Okay. Murmuring, sore face. Yes, Srinivas Murthy sir. Okay, I think that was an S for the previous question. Complaining to the authorities to correct this is beneficial. Yes. Yeah. So let's voice out our opinion. Let's grumble. Let's complain when there's a cause, when there is a need. But only mere doing that without taking any kind of action is only going to harm us more than anything. What up on the screen? Yes. So let us look a little into the scientific basis, or let us look a little into the evolutionary theory of grumbling. Why? I was telling you a little earlier that as a culture, as a society, we grumble. So what does science tell us, or what does evolutionary scientists talk about this? Basically, our human brain is designed in such a way that it is geared or it is prepared for survival. When we lived in caves, the prehistoric times, We had never had the comfort of our homes. We never had all these coziness, people around us caring, taking care of us, a beautiful bungalow to stay. Nothing. The prehistoric times, the cavemen lived in jungle, and there were predators, wild animals all around. He either lived in the caves or on treetops. So the human brain has been designed in such a way that the sole purpose of that is survival. How do I take care of myself from the wild animals around him? Everything was so no, against him. The weather, the conditions, the predators around, everything was so against his survival. But the brain has been designed in such a way that we take care of ourselves. Our antennas are up. We are always on the lookout. The human brain is designed in such a way that if there was a predator or a lion or a tiger chasing him, call it nature or God or whatever, it's been designed in such a way that either he fights, runs, or takes care of himself. In science, we call it as a fight-flight mechanism. When we are talking about stress, when there is some kind of a danger, the moment the caveman sensed danger, he either fought with the animal or he had to run away. That's his fight-flight mechanism. So the body and the mind and the brain is designed in such a way that whenever you're stressed or whenever you think there is a danger, either you muster courage, the cortisols, the adrenaline, the stress hormones are released, and there is a sudden surge of glucose in the body. And with that extra energy, the individual either runs or fights with the animal or whatever that is attacking him, the danger. So that is how the human body and brain is programmed. Basically for our survival, our race, our generation should survive, should continue. So all the time, the human brain is looking for dangers. And the moment you see anything that is going against me or against us, we immediately guard ourselves, shield ourselves, fight, fly, run away, or say, oh, this is not good for me. I need to do something about it. So that is so strong. So basically, this grumbling also comes under the survival phenomena. If we are always looking at things in a very rosy-eyed, everything is okay, nothing, there's no danger lurking around, I'm okay kind, then we could end up in disasters. Therefore, this is how the body has been designed. So basically, the brain is negative bias, meaning there must be some danger. I need to be on guard. I need to be alert. This is how the brain is programmed. It's okay if it is 80-20. That is, 80% of the time, I'm thinking negative, I'm sensing danger, I'm hoping what if something happens, therefore I need to think. 20% of the time, did I say 80? Sorry, 20% of the time, if I am on this side calculating negative things, then that's okay. 80% of the time, I'm positive. But when grumbling or complaining or negativity becomes more, 50-50, all the time we are talking about negative, we are hoping for danger, we are complaining, that becomes a problem. But since basically our brain is negative biased, we tend to latch on to the negatives first, the dangers first. That's why we emerge as complainers. In fact, research says that brain perceives negatives at an approximated rate of 5-1. Okay, so if from morning, if many things have worked in our favor and some out of that one didn't work in our favor, we forget about all the 10 things, but we pick up those 2 things that went against me and I blow it up in my mind. Everything went well. That one last thing, and the whole day, oh, my day is gone. I planned so much, but this is how it happened. I am an utter failure. This is how the brain starts functioning because it's designed in such a way. Out of 5 positives, or even everything went in your favor, that one didn't go well, we pick up on that. Let's see in the chat box. Let me hear from you. What is that one thing that didn't go in your favor from morning? That's been bothering. I'm sure each of us will be having some kind of a botheration. I'm just asking you for a 12-hour or a 20-hour recall. I'm not even asking for your last week's. From morning, what is it that didn't go well and that was bothering you? Okay, rainwater stagnation. Yes. Rainwater stagnation is bothering. Yes. Did we do something about it? Did we take action? Well and good. But at the same time, yes, there has been rainwater stagnation. But am I safe? Is my family safe? Thank God there was no untoward incident happening. So there could be a shift in our focus. Yes, I have a reason to complain about stagnation, but can I also bring that paradigm shift and look at some other thing which worked in my favor? Newspaper didn't come. Yes, newspaper didn't come. So my whole day gets affected. So many things. The milk came, you had your hot cup of coffee or tea in the morning. Your maid came at the right time, she was expected to. Your cab, you wanted to go out and your cab arrived at the time it was supposed to come. But the newspaper, yeah. If you can take that as one incident by itself, yes, the newspaper didn't come, and what alternative? Can I listen to the news over the news? Or can I download an app and just listen to something? Or on my phone, can I get the immediate highlights? If you can take action, be proactive, then it's wonderful. But the more and more we harp about, I'm not saying Janki Ram sir was worried about newspaper. I'm just taking that as an example. Suppose we start worrying. This fellow never comes at this time. He's always like that. And because of this, my whole day is gone. I wanted to read my newspaper, then go for a walk, and then come back and do my other work. Because I didn't get the newspaper, I missed my walking. I was late to my office. Why should one negative, one mishap be connected to my entire life schedule? So that if you can drop or suspend, I think that's the way of growing. Yeah, today morning, group of my friends was speaking about same city development of rainwater between India and country. Political system comparison. Yes, political system comparison. It's a normal table conference, or it's the conversation among friends and people. It's a normal thing. Yes, all of us who have no idea or no skill or prowess in making policies or deciding about administration, all of us are qualified to make comments about it. We don't know. We are not aware of either the public administration or the policies. But we think that we are authorized to comment, to criticize about all these. I've never held a cricket bat in my hand, but I comment and criticize each time Sachin Tendulkar bats. Oh, his square drive is not good, his fielding is not good. But have I ever done it? No. So this is how we work. We derive some kind of a pleasure. As long as it's not harming anyone, as long as it is not doing any harm to you or others, it's fine. But mere complaining, because especially today in the era of us, social in media, what happens? Trolling. Be it religion, be it about food, politics, acting, anything. There is a series of troll, people grumbling, complaining, and we assume that we are very well qualified than the bureaucrat or the minister or the company head who is sitting there and taking decisions. We think that we know it better. Did we ever get out of the comfort of our chair and do even a small act? No, we haven't done. But we start grumbling. So this is not required. Otherwise, Mere complaining, grumbling for my satisfaction or to gain that little sympathy, to get connected is okay. But when you start getting into a system and grumbling, because of which either we are spreading hatred or harming the already going things, that is not required, or we need to correct ourselves. And this grumbling or complaining is not just about others. Many a times it is inward also. I'm so dissatisfied about my own self. As children, you see, as teenagers, you see them grumbling. I'm not so good. I'm not attractive, or my handwriting is not good. My English is not good. That lack of self-belief. As parents or as responsible adults, when we see that here is a child or an individual who has got this grumbling or complaining as a major temperament or as a major trait, I told you, 80 positive and 20% is okay. But most of the time, in everything he or she seeks the negativity or reason to complain or grumble. If you see this trait in a youngster or any person for that matter, not grumbling about external things, grumbling about his own things, his own abilities, then that's the time we need to help that person out. Caution, help, that's something very importantly it's need to be done. Here is a person who lacks that self-belief. Let me just quote this little story to you. There was this artist who was learning to be a painter. In fact, he was very good as a painter. Although he was a student, he was very good. One day he had made a beautiful painting. He takes to his master and he shows, "Sir, I have done this." And his master looks at it and it's beautifully done. The color, the shades, the kind of expression, the features, everything is really good. So master approves of it. He said, "It's nice. It's really nicely done." But the student, he's not happy with it. He's complaining. He says, "No, no, no, it's not nice. I don't think I can ever be a painter. I don't think anybody will appreciate my drawing. There's nothing good in it. I think I'll have to quit drawing or painting. I loved art so much, but I don't think I can ever. I need to ask people. I don't know what people are going to tell about this." Any amount of reassurance from his master doesn't satisfy, because basically within him there is this dissatisfaction. There is a little gap between his expectation and what he's feeling. And he is also fearful about what people will think. I don't think people will approve. I don't think anybody will buy my piece of art. I want to ask people. And master says, "Okay, find out. Ask people how it is." So this student takes this piece of art to the marketplace where a lot of people walk by. He places that piece of his creation there, which is done on a canvas. It leaves it there and leaves a pen and a notepad, and he says, "Please tell me how this painting is. And I'm going to collect it in the evening. In the meantime, I want people to tell me how this painting is, what my flaws are, how is it?" And evening, he goes back to the market square to collect the painting back. And to his dismay, the notepad which he has kept is filled with criticisms. It's filled. It's not attractive. The color is not good. The design is not good. The drawing is not good. You can never be a good painter. I disapprove of it. It's filled. So he comes crying with that canvas. He goes to his master. I told you I can never paint. I can never be a good, I'm going to give up my passion." But the teacher looks at it. It's the same. It's a beautiful one. I don't know why my disciple is not agreeing. And he reads all the comments. And no wonder my boy is going to feel this way. He says, "Fine, don't worry. You want the approval of people, and this is what you've got, and you feel that nothing is working for you. You're complaining about it. Let's give it another try. But this time with a little difference." So he says, "Take the canvas to the same market square, place it there, now with a little difference. Only thing is, keep a palette with different colors and a couple of different size brushes and leave a note there. Dear friends, I want to improve myself and this is my creation. Here I have left different colors and different size brushes. Wherever you feel you need to improve or I need to improve, please put your strokes or paint, repaint, alter, modify and help me out because I want to improve. So please. So the same thing, and only thing is perception is different, the instructions are different. He leaves it there with brushes and a palette and this note. Please improve, please give it a different stroke, please color it differently, please give another shade or whatever you think is not okay, correct it. He goes back in the evening to see that his painting probably would have really been corrected and changed, looking better and beautiful. But again, to his utter surprise, there is not a single stroke, not a single change that is made by anybody. All those people who commented saying that it's not good, you can never be a good painter, your color is not okay. All of them had a reason, had a way of grumbling, complaining, finding fault. But when it came to taking actions, owning up to your words, doing something creatively, critically, nobody was there. Which means to say that many a times we give a lot of importance, attention to people who are grumblers, who are criticizing, who are complaining. But everybody who complains, who finds faults either with themselves or about others, about the system, about a player, about anybody for that matter, many a times are not the people who by themselves can do a better job. It's just that I'm happy grumbling about something because it gives me satisfaction. And trust me, many a times being with such kind of people draws, we lose our energy. Many a times it saps energy too. It's not very easy to be amidst people who are grumbling all the time. Vice versa, it could be also if I'm a grumbler myself, it's not easy for people around me to be in my company. Therefore, we need to question, am I a grumbler? Or am I surrounded by people who are grumbling themselves? Either way, when it reaches a particular limit, we need to look and see what is to be done. But otherwise, grumbling is within us. Complaining is there in us. This is how we are designed. But how much is what matters. What are the problems, especially when the complaining or grumbling reaches or crosses the limits of normalcy? What can happen? We are grumbling for anything and everything. We are forgetting about the other blessings that we have already received. But we are trying to find faults. Our sole purpose is to find fault in everything. In people, in system, in everything. I've gone all the way for a holiday. I've been planning for that holiday from years. I go there and I start grumbling about hotel sarigilla, the journey was not good, or the service is not good. Yes, you'll never get something to our expectation. Nothing works perfectly well. Every time, the life is not designed to be perfect. There will be something which is amiss. I've gone all the way to enjoy Himalayas or the Kodaikanal or the ocean and the waves, and I start grumbling about small little things. So, what happens? Research tells us that this habitual complaining affects us mentally. When we are always the kind of grumblers, forgetting all the other things that's working in our favor, fairly or roughly, this creates a lot of stress in our body, not just in the physical body, but in the emotional self also. And also, people tend to generally avoid or stay away from grumblers, because of which we may lose relationship, we may lose friends, we may lose good times, and many a times we may not even know why people are drifting. Why my son is not talking to me these days? Why my daughter, she would come running every time, or my granddaughter, the college going child, she would always come, and these days she's never coming to me. Why is it people are avoiding? The telephone conversations used to run for at least few minutes. Now, okay, apart from the niceties, the formalities, how was your day? Hope you had your dinner, and beyond that, the conversation is not going. Why? When we question, could be my conversation in such a way that I'm grumbling about my health or always finding fault with something. There are people who do that. The moment they get a distant call from son or daughter or living abroad, or it could be, you know what, my health is not okay, or this is not working, the maid is not coming, the water is not in the right thing, whatever. I'm not saying that you should never pour out your grievances. Let's do it. But the caller on the other side, we need to respect his or her time also. Here is a person who is waiting to listen something nice, something good. He or she is expecting to share something positive. When all that we can give to someone else is only complaints and negatives, over a period of time, people start drifting away. Okay, this is what I get, so let me stay back. Instead, if you can begin our conversation with something, oh, my day was so good. You made my journey so comfortable. Last week I visited and you looked after me very well. It was so nice. Let's rephrase our thoughts and dialogues in such a way that we share something good. And then in the due course of time, if we can come out with our grievances, it's more easier for the other person to accept or take it. Because on the other side, also, people want to be with an individual who is more balanced, happy, moderately happy, who is less of a nagger. That's the general tendency. So let's ask ourselves this question. How many times did I complain today? And is it difficult to go an entire day without complaining? Is it possible or is it completely impossible? Whenever I want to complain or grumble, what is it that I can do differently or say it in a different way? I'm unhappy about something. My daughter was supposed to come and take me to the hospital at 6 o'clock today. She didn't turn up. Maybe she was stuck in the rain. Maybe there was some problem. Maybe there was a vehicle breakdown. But the moment I get a phone call, I start raising my voice and then scold it. Instead, could I have said it in a better way? When I express all my agony and distress and shouting, then the other side, suppose the caller on the other side, who is your daughter or son, whoever is supposed to come and attend to you, says, Mama, I met with an accident and I'm in the hospital. That's how I missed your appointment. How do we feel? It could happen in anyone's life. So let's see, what is it that can be done? We're going to go back to your chat box. How many times did I complain today? You can be honest and let me see it in the chat box. Was it many times, just once, twice? Is it difficult to go an entire day without complaining? And how do we rephrase it? What else can we say? Whenever we want to grumble about something, can we rephrase it and put it in a different way? All questions put together, you can give me in one answer or you can give me separately also. I'll wait for your replies. Yes. Okay. Vasudev says, when I'm not too involved with people or situation, I have a tendency to complain. Okay. Dosa is burnt or not crisp. Idli is not. Yes. Coffee is not hot. Yeah. We complain about all these things. Yes. The choice is ours. Is it worth complaining? Yes, we all wait to have that nice crispy masala dosas, what we get in Vidyarthi Bhavan, that kind. We expect and sit before the dining table. But what we get is a burnt dosa or a half-baked chapati. It is quite irritable. It could be. But at the same time, maybe the wife or daughter or daughter-in-law, your husband, whoever has been cooking, maybe was juggling with many tasks, or maybe whatever didn't work in his or her favor. Instead of that, is it okay if I just keep aside that piece of burnt dosa and reorganize or look for something else or express? We can also express, nothing wrong. Dosa is a little burnt today. I would have preferred something which is cooked well. But the way you say it is very, very important. This reminds me of this little anecdote or a story. I'm sure many of you would have read it also. The daughter and the father are at the dining table having their dinner. Husband and wife both are working. The wife has just come back from her office and she's made chapatis. And chapati is burnt. I'm just taking this example. Chapati is burnt. Both the chapatis that are in daughter's plate and the father's plate, both are burnt. Daughter looks at the chapati and it's reversed. Many a times, no, that's what we do. Underneath is burnt and you flip it onto this side and serve it. Daughter looks at this side, it's burnt. She looks at her dad's plate, even his chapati is burnt. But dad is silently eating. He peels off that burnt layer, keeps it aside, and he's silently eating that chapati. And children are very good observers. So she gets a cue from her dad's gesture. So when he is eating the chapati, burnt chapati, and not saying a single word, she doesn't get the courage of complaining or grumbling about it or throwing tantrum about her mom's burnt chapati. So she also eats it silently. Before saying that good night wish, no, she just goes to her father's room to wish him. So before saying good night, she asks him, Dad, don't you love chapatis? I know it's your favorite. And you don't like burnt chapatis, but you never complained about it to mom. Both the chapatis were burnt and you love chapatis for your dinner. How is it you didn't say anything? Dad very quietly says, Yes, my dear, I love chapatis for dinner, but I love your mom more than that. So a subtle but a powerful message. Yes, dosas can be burnt. Tea and coffee can be less hot than we expected, but it's not about coffee or chapati or life. Life is much, much more than that. Relationship is much more than that. It's okay if today's cup of tea was not as hot I had expected. I can share it. I can express it in the way it is accepted, but I don't have to grumble, complain in such a way that it results in a never-ending discussion and argument, and then one-to-one. Yeah, you never no, like what I cook from tomorrow, I'm not going to do it. You do it for your own. How much work I manage my bank work, my office, and I make all this, and nobody even appreciates, acknowledges my good work. Oh my God! From one coffee to life lesson, and the history, the future, everything is brought to that. Was it even required? What could have been done in a better way? Today, microwaves are there, or stove is there. Okay, could I reheat that tea for a higher temperature? Could I make another new dosa for myself or eat half a dosa less today and eat something else? Many things are possible. It's just that the shift in our mind or mindset is what is important. Okay. Preeti says twice. Yes, could have been rephrased. I'm happy to hear that. The change starts with awareness. Yes, I grumbled twice from morning till now, and I could have said it in a better way. So this awareness itself helps us to be a little more conscious and then say it in a different way. We call this as a rubber band technique. That is, put a rubber band to your wrist, and then what happens when you pull that rubber band? It pains. So each time you want to grumble, you want to say something negative, like how Preeti is saying, I was upset. I want to immediately rattle out. I want to say something bad, venomous or negative, grumble. When I'm doing that, I'll just stop by and then pull that rubber band which I have put it on my wrist and then leave it. What happens? It hurts. Yes, that's a caution. That's a remembrance. Yes, that whatever I'm going to say just now is going to hurt my son, my wife, my brother, my father. And it's better I keep quiet. I change it. I rephrase it. It's a reminder. So those of us who find it difficult to consciously stay away from grumbling could try this technique for some time till we get used to it. Rubber band technique. I'm going to share a few more tips as we go. Okay, Vasudev sir says, I remember that I did complain within myself about road conditions when driving this afternoon. I thought then that I just need to drive carefully. Wonderful. It's just a rephrasing. No use complaining unless you want to do something about it. Instead, I need to be a better driver. So what happens is exactly what I'm saying. What happens when you are complaining? There's a lot of negative hormones, negative changes in our body. Yeah, where was I? In the previous one, I was talking to you about, yeah, dopamine. Yeah, the next one here. Okay. So when we grumble or complain or nag, there's a lot of negative change in the body. There is what is called as the stress hormones that is released, due to which our thinking gets crowded. We may not be able to do things well. So as you're driving and you're so angry with the system, with the government, with contractors, with the PWD, with all the departments, what happened in the bargain? I lost my cool. I jumped the red signal or oversped or failed to look at the vehicle in front of me or ended up with a mishap. Instead of that, that thought was replaced. Instead, oh, thank God, I'm a good driver. I'm able to maneuver in rough traffic. Let me drive carefully. So that shift in your mind made you or helped you to reach your home in a better way. Sometimes bring that sense of humor. From past a couple of weeks, we are seeing a lot of these memes and, have you seen Mekedatu? Have you seen this falls? And then finally the Bellandur Lake, and there's a little humor. So some people have got this nice side to them. Whenever you want to grumble, put it in a way that there's some kind of a humor, you don't hurt people or you laugh about it. That's another way of handling it. So either way, be proactive or laugh about it or do something more. That's very important. And how can we stop grumbling continuing with that? Gratitude. Yes, I have many reasons to grumble, but thank God. I'm complaining about the burnt chapati or the burnt dosa, but thank God I have a home to come back and I have somebody to cook for me. Isn't that enough? Just this floods, beautiful homes were flooded. All those who thought, or who put their life saving into that apartment, lost everything, or it was just washed away due to a couple of heavy rains last few weeks in Bangalore. When looking at all that, isn't my position much, much better today? So that gratitude. This gratitude helps the neurotransmitter dopamine secretion in the brain. And this dopamine, the feel-good hormone, the happy hormone of the neurotransmitter, makes us feel positive, optimistic, looking for good things in life, and it changes our mind in a better way. So dopamine is activated. So each time we want to grumble, look at, okay, I have one reason to complain. So what is the other way to be happy about it? I'm complaining about the road, but thank God I have a vehicle to drive today. I'm complaining about the thing that I only got 70%, but thank God I had good teachers and I have supportive parents. I can study better next time. So this gratitude activates dopamine, irrespective of what our age is. Learning to complain constructively. We were discussing a little while ago, how can I rephrase? How do I say it in a different way? And very importantly, let's ask ourselves, is it even worth? I'm complaining from morning till evening. In many households, the common complaint is about the maid. Or illi sariya kasa gudsilla, illi dhool tegdilla, she's like that, she's like. Thank God we have a maid. If she were to do the work as well as you, or if she was so polished, so sophisticated to understand things and so clever to do things in a better way, I don't think she would have come to the cleaning job. She would have been doing probably something better. The fact that she's there, she's able to help us, we need to be thankful. Is it really worth it every day talking about things are not done or clean as per my wish? Either get down and start working along with her, or it's okay. Life has got many other things than about just talking or grumbling about the place being not swept or things are not done in a good way. Another way how we could stop grumbling is called as a complaint sandwich. You want to convey that problem. You want to convey that there is something not amiss or not working between people, about your own family member, about the system, about your boss, or anybody for that matter. Sandwich. What is a sandwich? You have two or more layers of bread, and in between there is cheese or vegetable or chutney or whatever it is. So can we sandwich the negative between two positives? So that's the way. I want to complain about a particular officer. I go to the department. I say, sir, things are really good. From what I saw last time to now, I see the files are moving very well. That's really nice. After you took over as the section officer in this, things are moving well. At the same time, sir, this is the problem. You're sandwiching the complaint in between. And you end up with, thank you, I expect things to be much faster in your tenure. Wish you good luck. So you have conveyed the message that what is not working. The complaint is conveyed, but the receiver is also made to feel good about the things that are working well also. Because many a times we never acknowledge those things which are right. We are good to look at the things which are not working in our favor using a lens. We magnify all that is negative, but we forget or totally omit the good things. So the next time we go to a hotel, the dosa is crisply done, but the cost is more. Instead of complaining about the cost, let's say, I always come back for the best dosas to this hotel. It's really nice. But looks like the charges are really on the higher side. End with a positive comment. Maybe if you can maintain the same quality in the coming days too, we can still come back. So the feel-good factor is very important. At the end of the day, as a human being, all of us want to hear good things about us, good things about people. And you're encouraging others to do better. So the way you say it, complaint sandwich. Another powerful way is the gratitude alphabets. That is, let's use alphabets A to Z. And then what is it that I have to be grateful for? For every alphabet, let us bring out a positive statement or a phrase or a thing that is for which I am grateful. For example, A, thank God for the fresh air around me. Without that, I don't know what would have happened. B, oh my God, I'm breathing. There are people who they're off. Everything was so fine. She went to her bed the next day morning. She never got up. Breath had stopped. So let's do this exercise. Let's come back to the chat box. Let's do an alphabet gratitude exercise. You can choose any alphabet, more than one alphabet, or for A to Z. Give me a word starting with that alphabet for which you are grateful or we could be grateful for. I just gave you an example for A and B. Let's go. We have 26 words, and I'm sure there are more than 26,000 words to be grateful for. Let's see Who will give me the first few alphabets and the grateful words? Okay, I'm like as a fire. Okay, crumble, grumble, and throw it away is my decision now, and henceforth reframe the situation and tell positively. Beautiful, beautiful, Jankiram sir. Yes, grateful words starting with different alphabets, different letters. Thank God I can see with my eyes, even though I have my specs. Wow. E for education. Wow, great, wonderful. Today being Teachers' Day. E for education. I'm qualified. Yes. What is education? Education is a Latin word. It comes from the word educo, which means bring out. Bring out, that's within us. So your teachers have brought out what was in you, the urge to study, the urge to seek knowledge. Great. I'm grateful for that educo that's been brought out of me by my teacher. Wonderful. Who said that? Aruna said it. Thank you. Yes, caring, compassion. See, for caring, compassion, jewels in my life. Yes. So I'm caring, I'm compassionate. Or probably you are receiving care and compassion. Great. C for care and compassion. I have received it. I have my noble in-laws. How nice. N for the grateful word, noble in-laws. Beautiful. In-laws are your second parents, and you've got noble in-laws. What a blessing. Grateful for good health. Nothing can replace that. I think that's the best gift or the treasure. You are the richest. If you are gifted with good health, you are the richest. Kindness from many people around. How beautiful. Kindness is something you get back. So I'm sure, Nirmala madam, you are being kind and you're just receiving that. The hand which distributes or shares roses has the fragrance of it too. So you have been giving kindness, so you're also getting back. That's really good. Anu, oh, wonderful. Oh, Jankiram says, W for wonderful wife. Brilliant. That's so nice. We need to be grateful. And along with that, maybe a little imperfections and flaws do come. It's okay. Sometimes burnt chapati doesn't matter. Yes. A, I appreciate for everything. Positive for good people. G, gratitude for everything. Happy about everything. Enjoy the way it comes. Brilliant. E to Z. 26 different reasons to be happy, to stop complaining, to stop grumbling. Open-hearted children. That's really nice. Things are changing. People around us is changing. Time is changing. In such a time, we need people who are less judgmental, who are open-hearted, accepting me the way I am, accepting me with all my idiosyncrasies, my flaws. So if your children are open-hearted, you need to be grateful for that. Not many are that. Brilliant, sir. Open-heartedness, flexibility is a great blessing. There are people who are very rigid, very closed in their mind, very closed in their attitude. It becomes very difficult to live with. I appreciate your children. Yes, be kind to people. All right. Did I miss anything? Okay. Live, love, and laugh. So if you have been living, all of us are living, thankfully. Yes, so that's a huge reason to be grateful. If I'm able to love someone, if I'm able to give that love to someone, if I'm able to laugh with people, not at people, laugh with people, I need to be grateful for. And laugh or smile is that curved line which sets many things straight. So if you're able to smile and laugh, wonderful, keep doing it. I think that itself will reduce grumbling. Okay. Grateful for having a guru. Great. Having a guru. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಮುಂದೆ ಗುರು ಮುಂದೆ ಗುರಿ ಹಿಂದೆ ಗುರು ಇದ್ರೆ anything can be achieved. So if you have a guru and acharya in your life, nothing like that. When we say guru, it's not about just a teacher till you finish your degree or your college. Guru is a teacher for eternity, for life. So if you have a guru in any form, I think we need to be grateful. Wonderful. I'm peaceful with my family and friends. This is the best gift. Friends and family and having a peaceful coexistence. What more do we want? Huge reason to be happy and grateful. Blessed with God's grace and patience. Considerate with everyone. Anurag says that I'm considerate with everyone, for everyone. That's brilliant. Good. How nice. Now, when we look at this, don't you think there's a little smile on your face? There's a little light-headedness and light-heartedness. You feel good. Oh, I have been magnifying everything or blowing everything out of proportions. There are so many things which I'm ignoring. I'm not even looking at. There have been so many small, big things which need to be appreciated. But in the course of time, many a times we forget. We embark on a journey. This is my destination. I want to reach that place. With all my effort, I reach the destination, but I forget the entire journey. So much was there for me to enjoy. The travel, the people, the weather, but I forget all that. So many a times in our life journey also, we are more hooked on to what we want to do, where we want to reach, the amount of wealth I want to have, or the kind of house I want to build. So with our goal on this destination, many a times we forget the journey itself. Let's enjoy doing that. So great if you have been doing that. Wonderful. Silence, smile, service. Vishwa AN says silence, smile, and service. All three S's. It's so nice. Silence is definitely sometime, it's a wisdom, actually, I should say. When you know when you need to be silent, I think that's a very beautiful way of managing conflicts, bringing peace within yourself. Service, a great way. When you are serving people, it's already saying that you are in a mindset where you want to give it to people, which means you're already rich. Only when you are rich, you can serve others. When I say rich, it doesn't mean that you need to be rich with wealth or money. You are rich with a big heart. You are rich with an open mind. So you're serving someone with whatever, serving knowledge, serving kind in a whatever way. Service means that you are already better and bigger and richer than other people. So that's a great way of being grateful. In fact, let me come back to it. I'll talk to you. Let me finish looking at the other answers. Yes, good grandchildren, grand fortune, means and time, generous to God. Wonderful. So elaborating on Vishwas, silence, smile, and service, I would like to draw your attention to this particular one. Okay. Yes. Yeah. The service part brings me to this slide here. I was talking to you about dopamine. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter, I told you, which is produced in a brain. And all these four neurotransmitters from bottom to top, endorphin, serotonin, oxytocin, and dopamine. Let me just talk to you a bit about this. Endorphin is a neurotransmitter which is produced in our body when we exercise. When we do any kind of physical activity, there is a little strain, wear and tear in our body. To heal that, a natural painkiller is produced in the body, which is called as endorphin. Over the days, we get so used to it. The day I don't exercise, I don't go to the gym, or I don't go for my regular morning walk, I feel I've missed something. That is because the natural painkiller, endorphin, which is produced in the body when we physically do an exercise or a work or a workout, was not produced that day because I didn't do an exercise that day. So endorphin is that neurotransmitter, a natural painkiller, which is produced when we do some physical activity. This is a feel-good neurotransmitter, a happy hormone. Likewise, serotonin. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter which is produced in the brain, a happy hormone, which is produced when we help out others. This is what I want to tell you, Vishwasa, when you said that. Serotonin is that when you serve, when you get into altruistic behavior, when you do or give to people without any expectation. I just did it because I wanted to. I'm least expecting anything in return. I just want to help for the sake of helping. So when you get into this service mindedness, serotonin is produced in your body. I've been doing this. I just want to, I feel like sharing. I feel like doing this to people. It could be anything. It could be donating. It could be charity. It could be working in kind, cash, service. Just helped an old woman cross the road. Just helped a visually challenged person fill up an application at a post office. Random act of kindness, RAK. Small or big service, serotonin is produced. And this keeps your body healthy and it acts as a happy hormone. Oxytocin. When we get into meaningful, healthy physical contact, physical touch, hugging, cuddling, embrace, shake hand, consoling somebody, patting on the back, putting your hand across the shoulder and giving him or her reassurance. That meaningful physical touch, oxytocin is produced. And dopamine, whenever you accomplish a task, you wanted to do something and you did it. I wanted to refrain from grumbling. I want to stop grumbling. I generally am a little toxic in my way. The way I say it, I hurt people. And from tomorrow, I'm going to change that. Somebody said, I'm going to rephrase it. So you set out on a task and you did it. Dopamine is produced. It could be anything, any task. I wanted to clean up my table, my kitchen counter by this evening. I want to dust it. I want to keep it clean. I wanted to do this task and I did it. Then you accomplish a task, small or big. Dopamine is produced. All these 4 neurotransmitters help us to live our life better, to be less grumblers and to be happy and healthy in every context. So my question to you all, did you get your dose today? Did you exercise? Did you spread happiness and smile? Did you make anybody's life a little better today? Were you or did your presence create happiness to another person? Did you set your mind on some task and achieve it? You said it and did it. If you have got your dose today, you'll be going back to bed as a happy, much happier and a composed person. So let's strive at getting each of these every day. So this, when you look at, if I'm an habitual complainer, what is it that I can do? Instead, divert myself, get into an activity, say it in a better way, so that I'm less toxic. Many a times, till now I was talking about what if I am a grumbler? How do I become a better person? How do I look at it being, changing, rephrasing myself, using a complaint sandwich or a rubber band technique? So if I'm a grumbler, now the last few minutes, let's look at how to handle grumblers. Many a times I may be a peace-loving person. I'm not a grumbler myself, but the people around me, my life partner, my children, my neighbors, my friends, my relatives, my colleagues, these are the people, they are all the time grumbling. What do I do? So how do I deal with grumblers? First and foremost, we cannot change everybody. So let their presence, let their verdict or demand not affect you or control you too much. But having said that, what is it that we need to understand? If we can look at that with a little change in our mindset. When we come across grumblers, especially in our own life, they are somebody very significant in your life. You have to live with them or meet them on a day-to-day basis. And you see this person, a lady or a woman or anybody for that matter, is always grumbling. It means that there is something this person is trying to share. He or she feels that he is not heard. There is some kind of a unmet need this individual is feeling. It could be your own father. It could be your mother, the old mother. Whenever you go home, she's always grumbling. She's complaining. Instead of getting bogged down or irritated about her behavior, can we go next to her and say, oh, there is some need. She's trying to share that. Maybe her own ill health, maybe her own old age, because of which no, she has no other way of, this is her way of explaining. So address that need. That is one way we could handle the grumblers. Reframe the situation. Yes, she's complaining about everything. Why am I even alive? Many a time we see senior citizens say, why am I even alive? I don't know why God has made me like this. Nan jeevanakku bara, ellargu bara. I don't know why I'm alive. Reframe the situation. Daddy, how nice. Your children are well settled. And you are able to still move around and do things on your own. Isn't it? And age is something which all of us will catch up. But that way you're still blessed. At 70, you're able to do so many things on your own. Reframe the situation. Many a times people need that reassurance. Their grumbling doesn't mean that they are there to irritate you. It is just venting out. Another way is, can we change our response? We have had many examples from now, a couple of minutes, so let's not go into detail about that. The next one being asking for solutions. Yes, here is a person who is always grumbling about the system, about the community, about the neighborhood. So ask. So what can be done? There's always power failure. There's always water stagnation. So what is it that can be done? Ask for solutions. As I was quoting the example of the painter, that little student and the painter master, many a times people don't have solutions. They just grumble. So when you put back that question, give me solutions, it makes them think. And probably that could help them to rethink about their grumbling nature. Another way of handling grumblers is express your feelings. Yes, even I feel that the roads could have been better. Even I feel that so-and-so could have played better. But this is what it is. Against all odds, this is what has happened. So express, if you felt that, express the feeling. Redirect the conversation. Many a times, if nothing can be done, I agree that your health could have been better. I agree. But for now, can we look at, yes, Bangalore weather or the traffic has been bad, but can we look at the other things where Bangalore is faring well? Bangalore is still a green city. Bangalore is still like Uti or the Kodaikanal of Karnataka. So can we change the conversation from the complaint mode to something good? So we need to work on these things, either our own grumbling nature, we need to work inwardly, or with people. Why? Because ultimately, only complaining, mere grumbling is going to do more harm to each of us, our body, mind, and spirit. With every phrase or sentence of that complaining, we are missing that time to appreciate, to be grateful about something else. So we are being blind to our blessing each time we are complaining about a little or big thing. If it is worth, please complain, take action, shift it, fix it, change it. But mere doing it for the sake of, merely doing it because we are programmed and conditioned that way, does no good to either yourself, your family, or the society. So let's liberate ourselves from finding faults in everything, and let's look for peace and joy, because life is not worth complaining. And all those who complained and made a big thing out of nothing are not here today. So let us relook, rethink. Let's look for the joy within us and around us. I'll stop here.